Alright. Mic check, mic check. Think mic is fine. Think I checked the setting. It's not wacky. Nope. Yep. So, okay. Yeah. Allergy. I think there's something in my house, right? That affects my nose. Super itchy. So yeah, so much snot coming out. Yeah. So I might sound weird here and there, but yeah, it's just an allergy. Apparently, getting so much allergy, like allergy all year round, it's common for like carers, right? Like people who are like moms and dads, or people who are taking care of their parents, like old parents. It's called carer syndrome, and they are like, yeah, it's like part of it. Easy to get sick, allergy all year round, maybe some like depression kind of things, feeling down. Like, I mean, maybe not as much as depressed or anything, but like, feeling down very often. That kind of thing is common for carer syndrome. So, yeah, maybe that's it. Because I'm having allergies all year round after Hiro, I have like seasonal allergy, pollen allergy during like springtime, but other than that, I'm usually fine, but you know. But anyways, Marty, thanks for the very first super chat. Appreciate it. ちょっと I'm kind of letting the board dry first. By the way, my today's look is kind of like, you know, hard rock, 2000, early 2000 kind of outfit. Like a little like smoky eyes going on. This t-shirt it's kind of wild, right? Wild っていうか、何 The fashion from that time. You know, people in my generation would understand. Like, I was a huge fan of Avril Lavigne, and this is actually her brand. Her brand. She has her own brand. I don't know if it's still going on, but is the connection all right? I really worry about it because there was, connection issue last time. But setting should be fine. The setting should be fine, and yeah. So yeah, it's just people just not commenting, chatting so much. That's it. Yeah, I hope so. But anyways, yeah, this is actually produced by Avril Lavigne. So it's like, yeah, like a punk rock, girly kind of vibe, you know. And then, yeah, I think so. I have like some pieces of this. I got like 15 years ago, right? So yeah, 15 years ago, I got this shirt, and then I still had it, right? So I kind of like enjoying this again. Yeah, I think I got these pieces from either either pop-up store in Japan. There was like few times she did a pop-up store in Japan, in Tokyo. Or I visited I studied in Orange County for like a month and a half. And yeah, I got that. I got some pieces while I was in OC, Orange County, or maybe like few pieces from website, like online shopping. Although at that time, online shopping for clothes wasn't so common, right? But I think I did that because, yeah, I think it was not even like there was no like system for like fashion industry website, and then I think that was like, I think so. I believe I got few pieces from magazines, I think. I saw that it was not even website. It was on magazines. It's like a punk rock magazine in Japan. I think it's a worldwide thing, but Japanese version. And then they have like a few pages of catalogs for like band t-shirts, items, right? And then they had a few pieces from like Avril's brand. So I think I got few from that catalog, right? You send a letter, like card, and then write like numbers for like items, and then send that to them, and then they will send you the pieces, right? I think I used that to get these clothes. So nostalgic. Right now it's all online. You can just order from online, but at that time, like 15 years ago, it was not common, right? People were still shopping clothes from like stores, or if it's like hard to get, then like magazines, or yeah, those things were there. So yeah, Mari, thanks for the super chat. Thank you. Yeah. David, good afternoon. My lovely deep house. これはなんだっけ？ジョンか。Hello. With zero tea on me. I recently found a channel due to Filthy Frank. Okay, it's still, yeah, those videos are still like watched even after like 6 years, 5 years, 6 years, right? Do you ever listen to Joji's music? I actually have a video that I reacted to his music, so you can check that out. Stig, yeah, Taylor Swift or Avril Lavigne. Yeah, definitely. I'm not Avril girl, Avril girly. I was very much. like I liked Taylor Swift very much. I have a few songs that I really like from her, but like Avril, Avril is like in my blood. It's like in my DNA. Not like DNA. So I definitely have so much influence from Avril Lavigne, right? I mean, she is one of the reasons I, studied really hard, study English really hard. And then her fashion is iconic. Her attitude and her like, spirit is really influenced so much. So like, even though I don't wear so much like gothic punk rock thing anymore, but I I can't help choosing like Dr. Martin boots, even when I'm wearing more like adult clothes, if that makes sense. I just can't help, right? And then I actually throw so many clothes time to time, but I still had these pieces because it means so much to me, right? And then I guess when I put it away in the closet, like deep down the closet, I was kind of hoping I can wear these again, right? And then I opened the bag up yesterday, and there were like these type of clothes, and then I was like, okay, it's been 15 years, right? And I didn't really wear because I thought I grew up from this type of clothes. uh, but hey, now is the youngest. Now is the youngest self, my youngest self. And then when will I wear if I don't wear now? So yeah, I decided to open the back up, and then I think I will wear these. And it's not just Avril Lavigne. I had some band T-shirts, right? Guys, this. Ta-da! So I customized it. It didn't shape like this. It was just normal band shirt when I went to Avenged Sevenfold tour. Yeah, they did a tour in Japan. It's a Japan thing. Look at that. Look at the date. Look at the dates. It doesn't say the year. Doesn't say the year. Oh my gosh. But was it like when was it? I think at least 15 years ago. At least. I was like, yeah, I think it's like 16, 17 years ago to be exact. Uh yeah, Osaka, Nagoya, and Tokyo. They did the Japan tour. Oh, tour 2008. 2008. Okay, 2008. Do the math, do the math. 17 years ago. 17 years ago. I feel so old. I was a uni student at that time. And then I went there concert. And then I got this t-shirt, and it was a little too masculine to wear in a daily basis, right? So I cut it, and then it's like I can, kind of like show my shoulder. Oh yeah, showing shoulder is like the thing in the early 2000. So yeah, I cut it like this, customized like this. And how many of you guys know like Avenged Sevenfold? It's more like a metal band. They still do it, but I don't really follow them anymore because they changed their music style since they lost, the one of the members passed away. This guy, kana? The drummer, rap. He was an amazing drummer, and like second, he did a second vocal thing as well. He was iconic, and then after he passed away. I kind of stopped following them. But it is what it is. 2008. Oh my gosh. Uh, anyways, yeah. Pep, you look more beautiful after having the baby. Okay, That's a compliment. Thank you. James, hello. Orange County, California. Yes, California. Because you know what? Avenged Sevenfold, they are from Orange County, right? They are Orange County band. The Offspring is Orange County band, and then I really, really liked them. So I decided to go to California for that reason, you know. Maltese Rider. Oh, it's been a while. Wow. Thanks for the super chat. With that new prime minister, how much do you think I, as someone who would like to live in Japan, need to worry or be affected by it? I mean, although she is a PM, I don't think she has so much power in Japanese politic, right? So I don't think there will be like super drastic measure when it comes to immigration and shit. But her policy is that she wants to stay away from refugees. Refugees, like, not by meaning like people from Ukraine or people from like Gaza or things like that. Not like that kind of refugees, but like people who enter Japan not as non-refugees, but become refugee after they enter Japan. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So they're more talking about those refugees, right? Like super poor people coming to Japan and then try to like get free passport, like without them really try to like make finance, right? It's like that, yeah. So if you are poor, if you are poor and then come to Japan to take advantage of our welfare system, it's gonna be really strict about that. Japan will be very strict about that. I mean, we are already strict about those people. Like Japan rarely takes refugees, like not like European countries, right? It's already very strict, but it's gonna be even more strict, I guess. Also, mass immigration. Mass immigration will be like strict, right? Yeah, mass immigration. So you, as a foreigner, as like normal American citizen or like individual immigrants, I don't think you should worry about like getting banned or anything. Like it's super harder for me to getting like to go to the US. I think the bar is still kind of like not as strict for you guys to come to Japan simply if you are not like refugee level of poor, you know. So yeah. Also maybe like businesses can be having businesses in Japan as a foreigner might be a little more strict, like more tax and everything. Although it's kind of becoming like that, I guess. そうね。But it's kind of sad. Like newborn babies here in Japan. Of all the newborn babies in Japan, I think 5 to 10% is for like foreign nationality. 5 to 10%. I think that was the number. Meaning, if we simply ban foreigners, and then I think with the mixed children, if we add up mixed children, it's gonna be like, I don't know, 15 to 15% or something like that. Like probably 10 to 50%, right? If like 5% is like foreign nationality, then when it comes to mixed children, it's gonna be more. So if we simply ban foreigners in Japan, we're gonna lose the future 50%, 15% resident, 15% tax like pay, right? It's not sustainable at all. So we can't simply ban foreigners, right? We are definitely losing population drastically, Japan, right? So if we just simply ban foreigners, we're gonna lose so much. We can't like survive. And they know that. Government probably know that. But they want to perform like that, right? Because recently kind of far right politic is kind of like emerging among like Japanese kind of ignorant people, right? It's the people who have like, you know, but sadly that's the reality. Many people support far right wing recently, so they want to perform like more like towards right wing. So I think saying those kind of like, oh, we're gonna like be strict for foreigners, they perform like that, but I don't think they have a guts to just cut out foreigners. Japan is depending so much on like anything. Many of our food come from foreign countries. Yeah, so many workers in Japan are foreigners. まあ、なんていうの? Like jobs. When it comes to jobs that are like not Japanese people don't want to do, you know what I mean? They really support that kind of industry. Foreigners support that kind of industries. And not to mention, Japan doesn't have a military. So if emergency happens, we have to rely on America, maybe Taiwan, Korea, right? So we can't simply just ban foreigners. And when it comes to you guys, I don't think like it affects so much, to be honest. Yeah. That's a dope t-shirt, thanks. Do you listen to any punk bands now? I do. I still love like punk rock. I listen to like old fashioned to early 2000 or probably like 90s band. 90s band and a bit of recent bands as well. And I am actually a huge Linkin Park fan as well. Like, yeah, you know. You are old. Thanks. Like, thanks. Do you really need to say that? T-shirt's almost old enough to vote. Okay. I like Avenged Sevenfold. Woo! The stage is my favorite song. That stage. Eh? And then I don't know that song? Why? Is that recent song? Or very old song? I think I was listening to Avenged Sevenfold from from the album that made them very popular. And I can't remember the name of the song. Okay, I guess I'm old. Um, Kill Switch Engage is probably in the playlist. So yes, yes. But how old are they? Like, because I recently found them. Because I'm not in the U.S., right? I'm not. I haven't lived there, right? I raised in Japan, listening to like foreign music, Western music. So sometimes it's not timely, right? I found Offspring in early 20s, although they were popular in the US way way back, like 90s, right? Um, so there's a time lag for me, right? And then there are bands I recently uh, discover because of like なんだっけ Spotify recommendation and things like that. And because I'm listening to many like 90s, early 20s kind of punk rock, maybe that's why they recommended me Kill Switch Engage. Maybe that. So I didn't listen to them when I was younger, to be honest. That kind of things happen. I was born and raised in Orange County. Oh, really? So no, I went to Orange Coast College and California State University, Fullerton. Oh, California State University, Fullerton. I went there. I visited there. Yeah. I was studying like a AOI language school, which is right next to University of California, Irvine. Right? I even have a University California Irvine hoodie, even though I was not a student, but I could buy one. So yeah, and then um, I had like a small like international party that one of like Japanese friends there. They had a party, like an international party, and then there were students from California State University, Fullerton, who studied Japanese language there, right? And then even now, I still, contact with few of them. Still a good friend, like long distance friend, I would say. But they visited Japan a few times, and then I get to meet them. So yeah, wow. ね、そうそう、なんかね、was a really nice university. Gil, drunk as always. Hey, take care. Basically, she's trying to go after people trying to get a free ride in Japan. I think so, and which is not that many. That kind of foreigners are not that many, but she's performing that way because that will get votes, right? Chef Joshua, hello. One of the things that Japan has to be wary of is Islam because that's a problem. Though I stay away from that kind of topic. Angelo, I've been talking to an Osaka girl I met at a bar during my trip. Nice. It's been 6 months, but we're still in touch via IG. Our conversation never gets boring. That's a great thing, right? I honestly expected to get ghosted after a few months, but here we are. She's 21, I'm 25. Yeah, sounds great. Go? Why don't you go? Are you gonna be a pen pal? I mean, if that's your goal, to be a pen pal, whatever. But if you actually have some kind of feeling for her, if you don't ask her out, you will get ghosted very soon. Or get friend zoned. You know what I mean? Timothy, thanks for the super chat. Just watched Oriental Pearl's video, What is Happening to Japan, which talks about the graffiti and rubbish dumping in her neighborhood in Tokyo. Who is doing the graffiti? Is it local kids or gangs? A graffiti, like rakugaki? Writing random shit on the public area? No, I haven't really thought about that, to be honest. まあ、it used to be a gang thing, gang and mostly gang thing, right? うん。あとはなんか bikers とかね。Other than that, yeah, there are some people who do that as an art, but yeah, I haven't really paid attention to so much who's doing that, especially like recently. Thank you, Timothy. Thanks for the support. Invite people who are from developed and respectful nations. Yeah, I mean, not necessarily developed, but respectful. I think that's the key, you know? If you just come here to get a free ride, no. If you want to, if you want better life in Japan, sure, but then you need to work on it, right? You can't just get a free ride. I hope they don't ban Americans from Japan. I was actually one of the young individuals that was very well mannered and respected by the majority of the locals in Japan. I mean, yeah, people like that would be fine, you know? Someone told me a Japanese phrase to remember. They said, pickle pickle. What does that mean? Pickle pickle? Like, pickle pickle in Japanese? What? I noticed many Indian-looking fellows walking the convenience at night. まあそうだね。うん、なんかSoutheast Asians。うん、そうそうそう。コンビニね。コンビニ is not like high paid job. And not so many Japanese locals are willing to do it, right? So yeah, many foreign workers actually support that industry, especially night shift, right? Yeah, we don't want to ban those people, right? They are just hardworking people. Like コンビニはコンビニ workers は it's a difficult job. You have to remember many things. How to sell tobaccos like cigarettes. How to do like mail. They accept mails and packages too. So they have to register. They accept so many like payments like gas bill, electricity bill, city tax and stuff like that. They have to do that too. On top of like normal convenience thing, like cashier, selling foods like hot foods like famichiki, and they have to learn how to make those buns and famichikis too. Even though I mean, it's just deep fried thing, but they have to do that on top of everything, right? So many things. And yeah, and I those Japanese people who are saying like no foreigners, oh no no, like what do they see, right? If they just go to a local convenience store, they see many foreigners working hard there, right? Like, what are you guys watching? It's just on the internet, right? They don't believe people who are working so hard at convenience store right in front of them, but they only believe what they see on like Twitter, like X, social media, right? Like so silly. That kind of Japanese people are so silly. What about the Japanese self-defense force? Isn't that kind of like military? It's a self-defense force as it is. They don't fight. They don't go fight against you know, the other countries. They can only protect ourselves, but they can't go there and fight. They can't get out of Japan and fight. So, yeah, only defending. Yeah, which is good. I don't want fight. We don't want fight. But what if people attack, right? Our resources are limited, right? I mean, I have a friend that was born in Japan but have a Filipino descent, and he decided to stay here in the Philippines and finished his college because he felt like despite his Japanese, they still consider him as gaijin, which is truly sad to be honest. そっか、フィリピンのディーセントね。まあそうだね。Yeah, I mean, sure, there are many like hafus and like mixed people or foreigners, like foreign descent people who like completely fit in Japanese society, but it is hard and quite rare, I think. まあそうだね。Yeah, I think identity issue is always a thing when it comes to people who actually born and raised in Japan, right? For a long time. There's a great mid 80s Japanese female punk band called The Nurses. I don't know them here. You went to UCI? My little brother graduated from there 2 years ago. あ、そうか。ねえ、ねえ、なんか。Yeah, I've been there. I've been there. Frankie, I've noticed there is a little tolerance to children playing outside and making noise. Kind of weird. There's a little tolerance to children. People don't like children like playing and making noise. Yeah. Yeah, I think Japan is especially I think I see that all over here, like in the world, where like adults like complaining children doing children things, right? I think that's universal, but especially in Japan, people are very like narrow-minded when it comes to children. I don't know, maybe because children are becoming more rare in Japan, or too many entitled old people are there. Like, so just one example, but in my local like shopping mall, right? There is a small section that children can play, right? Shopping mall. It's like public space, so many families coming into the mall, so understandable. But at some point, they restrict the time. Like, oh, we are only open this children section, kids area, until this time. Because we had complaint from other customers saying that kids playing and, yelling and, making noises are so annoying while they're shopping. You know? Like, you used to be a kid, right? And then adults around you at that point let that slide. That's why you were here, super entitled and complaining like kids nowadays making noise like you used to when you were a kid. It's so weird. Yeah. But yeah, because I think it's the aged society thing, like more adults complaining, right? More old people complaining, kids, and more small amount of kids and younger people who raise those kids. So the power is always like this old people wins because the population is getting old. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's frustrating as a mom, you know what I mean? Samugai, do you think 29 is too old to learn Japanese and potentially move to Japan to settle down? Learn Japanese, definitely not old. Like, you can start learning Japanese at the age of like 50 or something. Potentially move to Japan? Yes. Settle down in which means? Like, what kind of settle down? Do you like want a partner in Japan? Stuff like that? Simply settle down, come to Japan, find a job. It's not like I don't think it's like too hard. As long as I think it's more about the job situation if you want to settle down in Japan. But you have to be mindful about that, right? What kind of skill set you have? Are you willing to like open your business? Yeah. You want to be, yeah, more like you have to have a plan, right? Lloyd, welcome back. Random user, what's the oldest you would date if you were single? Asking for a friend? What's the oldest you would date? What does that mean? I'm scared what's happening to Japan with all the new cultures coming into the country. 待って。What's the oldest would you date if you were single? はいはいはいはいはい。これね、エイジギャップでしょ？ Well, I've been telling you guys many times, but in general, this statistics says that recently Japanese people get married within age gap 3, like plus minus 3. That's the majority, right? And the fact that you are a foreigner and assuming that you look more like exotic or you are really like different from normal Japanese, then they might let you slide. And I would say plus minus 5 is more like common for international couples in Japan. So realistic age gap is between 0 to 5 that's my opinion, right? And would I date older men? Like maybe older? Yeah, oldest, right? I'm afraid, but no, to be honest. Like being completely honest with you. And I have dated older men, like 10 years older than me when I was much younger, right? And the experience was really bad. So I might be biased, right? I know there are plenty of like older men who are like really nice, like boyfriend, husband material for sure. But because of my experience, and you know what? It's sadly like older people, older people, both men and women, who specifically seek for younger, like super younger partners. Many of them like have this expectation, right? To be submissive, to be like controlled, easily controlled, right? So it's a risk as a young guy, young woman to like date super old people, right? You have to be very careful. Mm, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to say this. I don't want to assume like older guys are looking for that. No, but like but that happens, right? Very manipulative old men try to get super young women to be like to control their to control them. まあ same goes to older women to young men as well, but yeah, I think I think I think only like successful couples that I've seen who have age gaps, right? Is when younger approach to older, right? For example, this young woman, right? She wants to date older men, right? And she is attracted to older men. So she approached to an older like guy and then become couple, tend to be successful, right? But the other way around tend to be like kind of like creepy or manipulative and create some like issues, right? Same goes to, maybe young men approach to older women. That's more like success. That tends to be successful. And other way around is like cougar type of women, right? It's it's like kind of aggressive. So I think when youngers approach to olders, it's more accepted and it's more successful. But the other way around tend to be like ちょっと red flag. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's my thoughts on like age gap dating relationship. But what do you guys think? David, thanks for the super chat. Super effective だって。David. 何がいいかな今日は。もう I gave you all the badges already. You know what I mean? どうしようかな。どうしようかな。寿司かな寿司。 Sushi badge for David. Dum. Most developed countries are facing low birth rate, not really sure what the solution is. まあね。Restocking at a convenience is a nightmare. Yeah, right. Unfortunately, the internet has become reality to many people. 本当にね。It's not an issue. Love from the UK. Thank you, thank you. Larry, thanks for the super chat. Oh, was it your first super chat here? Is it? Because that's what it says. I don't know, but I think I've seen you. So, anyways, thanks for the super chat, Larry. And Frank, welcome. Welcome back. In Canada, most people, foreigners and citizens, sometimes work multiple jobs to stay afloat. ああ、そうか。ねえ。Definitely, Canada is becoming expensive too, right? Isaiah, half hour tomorrow, October 19th into October 20th, my birthday. Happy birthday. Do you dance professionally? Occasionally, I would say. But after the childbirth, it's more like I can't do professionally, you know. But I still have ambition, and I've been practicing katana dancing lately, and then maybe that path might open a, professional path. But we'll see, we'll see. I'm a little late. That's fine. Your children are annoying AF. Children. まあね. Of course, I think you can't just let children be how they are sometimes in a public places. They won't. You still have to, なんだろうね. You still have to have a discipline for sure. And definitely some moms, even in Japan, moms and dads in Japan, they are like, hey, do something. Your kids are going crazy. And then being harmful, you gotta do something. Like there are, there are manners and shit, but like even a little bit of noise can't, take it for some people, right? And you are especially crazy, and I really have to try so hard not to bother other people in public, Hirokun, what's this? 何これ? So chase you. Chase you. And you want Gaga too? Monkey. You have chase. You have your chase. A chase. Chase. Chase is on the case. ね、もう he loves Paw Patrol. Right? Right? You don't need chase too, but okay. You want to. Right. Sticker. Where do you want to put it?
Who gets the sticker?
Larry? Okay, put it on.
Larry is blessed by Hiro.
don't erase the name. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just give it. Yeah. はい。Hero point. はい。Oh, even two. Okay, okay. Thank you.
Oh, Larry, good job. Alright, buddy. Let's say hi. Say bye bye to chat. Say bye bye to chat.
It's time to for a chase.
Here we go. Say bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay, we're gonna have to do this the hard way then.
Bye bye. Oh no.
You drop cheese?
No, I don't think so. He still has it.
You still have it?
Ah, ah, ah. Yeah. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, that's our life now. That's our life. Yep, yep, yep. I mean, yeah. So I have to be very, disciplined in public. So we and Hiro, me and Hiro, don't bother other kids, other adults as well. Is it common for the parents of our adult children who are seen at red light districts like Sakayamachi or Kabukicho to be shunned from their local community because of their children's actions? What does that mean? I don't understand. At 25 years old, I simply ignore individuals that display immaturity and childish behavior. Yep, best to avoid those people. I want to move to Japan, but they don't let foreign people work there. Like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Do you want, like, fancy jobs? That's why? You are only looking at fancy jobs like Google, Goldman Sachs, Toyota? Why? Okay, I think you are being picky. There are men your age who want submissive Japanese women too. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like when I was like 20 something, right? I was approached by men in my age right now, you know. that was yeah, that's what it is. I think it's more like men's 何本能 instinct. Their instinct says that go for young women, right? It can be easier for some men, right? I mean, if a man is like not attractive, then go try to get young women. Probably don't get that women anyways, but for some like maybe popular type of men, like good looking, looks younger kind of man, if they go for like young women, things might be easier, easy to trick young women, right? Mm, まあね。まあでもこれは this kind of topic is always controversial, right? Some men are super like against the idea, right? I'm eligible. I'm entitled to seek for young women, like women in who can be my daughter kind of age. Many men have that kind of mindset, and then you know be against that kind of idea. But まあね、なんかさ、would I say it? I don't have to say it, I guess. まあでもさ、ほら。But as long as it's consent and if you are not taking advantage of the woman, then I think it's fine. It's completely fine. Like, look at Nicolas Cage, right? Nicolas Cage, he's with a Japanese wife right now, Riko Shibata. Riko is 33 years younger than Nicolas Cage. Oh my gosh. It's like he can be her grandfather. That kind of age gap, right? But they are so far good, fine. Probably not gonna divorce at least like few years, right? And why are they together, right? It's kind of, I mean, it's a celebrity romance. It's kind of like skeptical to you, still like superficial, I would say. But the reason why they are clicked, why they agreed, right? Especially why she agreed on this marriage, because she's an orphan. Yeah, she was. I mean, she had a father, parents, but they disappeared, and her dad sent her to orphans, right? So she doesn't have. She has a dad issue. Yeah, definitely. Like, why not? It's understandable that she has a dad issue, right? So she doesn't have much, like, she doesn't know what a good dad figure looks like. So maybe she wants to seek that in other man who takes care of her, right? So it's understandable. And then also, she was an she wasn't an actress to be, right? She was in a movie set as an extra, not like actress, but as an extra. And then Nicholas approached her at the set, right? So yeah, that makes her more like advantage, gives her more advantage. She probably has more chances in that kind of industry if she gets married to a famous actor worldwide, right? So I think it's more like win-win sort of situation, and then doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the age gap. Doesn't really matter to them, right? So if you are specifically looking for a young woman in your daughter's age, you should look for a woman who has that age. And then you have to provide everything, right? Like, you can't be broke and have a young girlfriend or whatever. I'm older, but still cool, still かっこいい. Okay. I mean, okay, you say that. You say that by yourself. Okay. Very confident. Nice. It was good, Frank. Okay. Did you get any action, Lloyd? Okay, okay. Action. Okay. I prefer to date someone my age or slightly older than me. That's cool. I feel like I would get annoyed and impatient dating a woman that was 5 years younger than me, or the older ones I might not be interested in. I think that's very normal. Normal. As for the age gap situation, I think I'd be toast. Don't they think guys or girls over 40 are leftovers in Japan? It depends. It really depends. なんか being 40 without getting married, being single, don't make you straight up leftovers. But there will be, I think they look for some kind of like reasons, right? So you want to communicate, right? You don't want to be like, oh, I just didn't, I just don't attract women in general, and then I didn't have a guts to approach women, so I'm still single. You don't want to be like that. You want to be like, yeah, I was really focused on my career, and then you know, I, as I am, I think I'm in a place to be someone. As I became more stable, I think it's time for me to look for someone. Yeah, like something like that. You have to think about the presentation, right? Or yeah, I actually was married at some point in my life, and I wanted to take a rest, and then now you know, I want to try again to find somebody who can actually, stay longer to be with, or like something. Trying to word it right. Noticed that someone's when talking with Japanese women, when I think the chat is ending, the long pause, they look at me expectantly. Is there a cultural cue that was missed? Eh? Sometimes when talking with Japanese women, when I think the chat is ending, the long pause, they look at me expectantly. Yeah, yeah. I think, yeah, I think they expect you to do something, either like naturally end the conversation, or if it depends on the situation for sure. But if you guys actually clicked, maybe she's expecting you to ask her out. Like it's either that, right? Like I think, and they don't want to make that move, right? So you have to choose either end the conversation or, changing number or things like that. We had our first 30-degree day here. Oh, it's becoming summer there. Right. And thanks for the membership, Frank. No, that was your first super chat, Lori. Cool, cool. Paw Patrol, yes. I got a couple of offers, but I toned them down. Unfortunately, they are married, but I did let them vent their frustrations out. すごいね。Married. まあね。Married people. そうだね。Yeah, sadly that happens. Discipline is important, but it's also normal for kids to be energetic. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? I think adults should be understanding of how difficult it can be for parents to handle their kids in public settings. Yeah, this is difficult though. Unless you are parents, you have been parenting. It's hard to know, right? I get where it comes from. When it comes to like younger people be ignorant and showing like some kind of disrespect towards parents or children. But there are some like I think some of my biggest frustration. Oh yeah, I think that I experienced this recently. I was running after Hiro because Hiro was going crazy and then running around in the library. Got out of the library, just run straight to the escalator by himself. Like he was being super, super bad, dangerous to himself still, right? Because the escalator is very dangerous for kids just by themselves. You have to be with them, right? But he just goes straight to the escalator and stuff like that. And then I had to be strict about that, right? So I guess I looked very, harsh or angry because it was about his safety, not just the public, you know, uh, being bothering to other people or stuff like. It was also about his safety. So I had to be very like, I had to make sure he understands. So I was telling him not to do those things. Maybe being a little louder, right? And then this old guy, probably in his 50 or 60, just saw me being angry, right? He didn't know the context. He didn't see the whole situation, what we were doing. He just saw me kind of yelling at my son. And then when he said that, そんなに怒らなくてもいいじゃない. You know, don't be so angry towards me. He said that to me just because he just came up when I was there, discipline my child. Like, how dare you? How dare you could say that to me? You don't know anything about childcare. Right? He probably has never done that, even when he had a children. I don't know if he has a children or not. But even if he had one, he probably didn't participate in the childcare, right? It's very common for men who are in that age range, right? And then tried to tell me what to do, right? I almost yelled at him, not my child, but him. But I was like, fuck you. But, you know, yeah, it was so disgusting, right? Nobody should judge mothers who are trying their best, or fathers too, mothers or fathers who are trying their best. Nobody, period, right? It was so annoying. I almost punched him, but it was in front of my kid. I couldn't do that. But yeah. "33 years. Wow. What do they have in common?" まあね、本当に。まあでもね、they both like bikes and motorcycle とか。まあでもね、yeah, I mean, it's superficial a little bit, but still kind of understandable, considering she's an orphan, she wants to be actress. Well, in Hollywood time, if you are married for more than 6 months, it's a lifetime, right? Yeah. I've already got 2 kids, don't need another. They both have breathing in common. Yeah. If Hiro was 20s hanging around Kabukicho and people from Chiba seeing him, as a parent, does this cause problems socially in the Chiba community? Oh, okay, that was you were asking. Simply walking around Kabukicho doesn't mean anything, right? There are so many entertainments in Kabukicho red light district, like many red light districts, right? Um, yeah, it doesn't mean anything. But like, for example, when Hiro was dressing exactly like host, right? And found out that he's working at host club or something, that might affect, right? Like people worry about it. Like, hey, I saw your kid. I actually saw your kid in Kabukicho working at host club. Is that, do you recognize it? Like that kind of conversation might happen. そうね。あるんじゃない？ Yeah, yeah. That's so rude. He has no idea of the situation or the horror you were going through that day. Right? Right? You don't. And, most of the people are like respectful, I think. Most of people I've encountered in my, local area, they are either like, give me compassion, like, ああ、大変ね、みたいな。Oh, you are getting through a lot. Like, I'm rooting for you. Or, like, go talk to Hiro. Like, hey, listen to your mother. Be nice to your mother. Yeah. And many, like, older おばあちゃん, grandmas and uh, moms, they are more, like, compassionate. Like, they don't judge me, right? Or at least cooperate, try to, make Hiro laugh or get distracted. Like they help me. He, they would help me. Or when he is running around being dangerous, getting out of the, the road. I've had some other dads catching him and then saved Hero for me, right? There are many people who are like compassionate or helping me at least. Well, don't say anything. That's majority of Japanese people. But there is this few random guy who makes like everything shitty, right? Yeah, I think that was the only time I've actually experienced a very disrespectful person towards my like child care and stuff like that. But rest of the people are just fine, It's not my life. That kind of people is not like common. But yeah. The old guy should have just minded his own damn business. Yes, I always do. One time I did see an old guy yell at a child that wasn't his by saying "shut up." Everyone, including me, was surprised. Oh my gosh. I can't be angry at you, Frank. But maybe Asagi. He continued, someone had to do it. What's the entitlement there? Right? Like, what? ね、でもさ、本当 you will be surprised how you can be angry, right? Like, I've never been angry at somebody in my in my life. I didn't have to be like angry at anybody, right? But with my son, I have to do it, right? I get angry. It's not like I have to. I have to scold somebody. I have to discipline somebody, which I didn't have to do it before kids, because I don't have to. I'm not responsible for other adults' behavior. I could just avoid people who have bad manners, bad disciplines. That's it. But with my children, with my kid, I have to do it, right? And that makes me very frustrated that I haven't felt before, right? Yeah, Hiro really challenged my uh, patient patience. Definitely, yeah. Yeah. Marcos, hi, from Brazil. Hey. Everyone has non-judgmental opinion on other people's parenting. In the end, I don't think it matters unless you are spectacularly poor or abusive. そうだよね。そうだよね. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you never know. You never know what those parents are going through, right? It's 5:30 a.m. Okay, I need to sleep. Okay. ね. Have a good day, night. Maybe that guy had a mom who always yelled at him and felt some sort of way. まあ確かにね、it tend to pass on, right? How you were treated from your parents tend to be, tend to pass on, like without, like unconsciously, right? うん。ね。Yeah. I never knew it affects so much how I raised up from my parents affects my personality, my thinking, my way of thinking, my attitude towards my child, like almost everything. It's it has an influence, right? Because I'm recently doing like dating consultation. I talk to many people, many men, um, and some people not only seek for dating advice but also needs some kind of you know counseling, therapy. Mm. So although I'm not a therapist or like psychologist, but I also try to learn those things, right? Because it's kind of connected for many people who seek for dating advice, right? They tend not to have like confidence. They tend to have some kind of like behavior issues. And you know what? It really connects to, you really want to go back how you were raised when you were child, right? Because childhood, when you were, how you were treated in your childhood, it's really affecting in your adulthood too, right? And then knowing those things, like aware, like you can't change how you were raised, right? You can't choose your parents. You can't erase your past or anything, but being aware of those traits, thinking traits, or like your action, like your decision making, like it's good to know how you were raised and how that affects your thinking traits, behavior, that kind of things to approach the issue that you have right now. You know what I mean? It's more frustration than anger because they drive you insane. Yeah, yeah, as a senpai dad, you know that. David, thanks for another super chat. Another sticker for you. どうしようかね。将棋かな。将棋。Sticker. Thank you, thank you. I would say thanks to my girls and then get a childhood flashback of my dad saying it. ああ、わかる。Yeah. I have that moments too. Yeah. Who's your daddy? My mom would threaten me with that. It was always wait until your father gets home from work, but then the real beatdown was inevitable. I don't live in JV land. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. ね。そうそう。So Japan is going into a mating season, right? Like towards Christmas season, because apparently Christmas in Japan is a season for couple. And I also heard that it's it is mating season in the US right now. Because なんだっけ Thanksgiving are approaching, right? Thanksgiving is next month, right? And you know, in the US on Thanksgiving Day, it's usually family gathering, right? So you have to go back to your hometown, and then see your parents. And then you want to have a girlfriend or like partner, because your parents would definitely ask you about him. And you don't want to be like, I'm single. I don't have anyone. I'm not dating anyone right now. Right? Maybe I think it's more like traditional ideas. And it definitely happens in Japan on New Year's Day. That's why I'm saying mating season in Japan is like a little later. Throughout Christmas to New Year's to maybe Valentine's season, right? Christmas is season for couple. Now it's like a pressure for like singles to go out and mingle. And New Year's, people go back to family gathering, and older generation always ask you if you have a partner, right? And right, there's a pressure there too. And then uh, Valentine seasons, yeah, they have like events going on for couples too. So I think this is the high season for Japan. It's more like a mingling season in Japan. But I heard that in the US, before like Thanksgiving is more like mating season, if that's true. It said there are 4 people in every marriage. two adults and the two inner children of the past. Oh, that makes sense, yeah. Duck season. Rabbit, duck, rabbit, okay. Yeah. They call it cuffing season. So, cuffing means you lock someone down. That's year round in America. That's year round, okay. My mom once said, "Don't be stupid. Who would like you?" In a weird way. I appreciate the blunt honesty, but moms can be brutal sometimes. Oh, never say that to your son. You know. まあね、some moms can be very toxic, right? うん。ね。That's bad. ね。We will be back in Japan early December if plans don't fall through. So I guess we'll be there in time for mating season. そうね。そうね。Yeah. I think you will see what I'm talking about. December ね。なんか the town is all festive and kind of romantic. There will be so many like illumination. We call that illumination. Lights up going on throughout Christmas to usually until February, right? Mating season, and then couples go see those like romantic lights up. Mm. That's very common, like dating destination in Japan during this mating season. So yeah, you will see what I mean. Yeah, it's pumpkin latte season. I'll tell you that. Yes, yeah, I had that the other day. なんか Starbucks doing the pumpkin latte right now. So I had that. But I miss pumpkin cold brew in the US. Japan doesn't have that. And that's absolutely the best, best of all the Starbucks menu to me. Pumpkin cold brew. That was awesome. And I can't get that in Japan, right? My mom always said there will be someone who loves you. Yeah, that's how you raise your son, right? Or children. Was your mom tough on you? My mom? うん、そうだね。なんかAsian parents ね。My mom I think my mom was more like, yeah, she's very, very passive aggressive, I would say. Passive aggressive, or I would say like pessimistic. なんていうの? She can't just say things directly so I can understand without feeling bad about myself too much. You know what I mean? Always like some kind of like mean way, very mean, when she tries to discipline or like makes me understand anything, scold. Yeah. And then when I was really young, like when I was a kid in Japan, like なんていうのね。なんていうのかね。discipline. Basically, like hitting was still acceptable in Japan, right? It was not as abusive at that point. It was more considered discipline. Hitting your child was more like discipline in Japan, you know. That was that time, you know. So yeah, that was, you know, that kind of violence were definitely there when I was a kid. Yeah. But I think to me, my father was more. My father was worse to me. I never had a really good relationship with my dad. Since I can recognize, like, I think I had a really good relationship with my dad until like I was like elementary school, like 9 or 10. But after that, it was always bad, always bad. Yeah. So yeah, he was really rough. He was like, obey, obey, or like I don't care about you, みたいな something like that. You know, children must obey their parents. Period. That kind of person, like super super strict, um, you know, Asian dad, I would say. But he provides, you know, he paid everything, school, tuition, even my uh, driver's license. He took care of me financially. Very like traditional Asian dad. So I mean, I appreciate that in regards like, you know, money, finance. I didn't have like student debt, things like that. I appreciate that, but I wish he was more like understanding, and especially he was raised in kind of like neglecting parents, with like brothers, right? So he probably had a really hard time understanding girls' psychology, and you know, he traditional dad working all the time didn't have so much time to like actually communicate with us, me and my sister. So I get where it comes from. It was just what it is, but yeah, I wish we had more like better relationship when I was younger. And then you know what? He actually grew up like had. It's weird to say he grew up. I'm a child. I'm his kid, but he really changed his mindset throughout his like as he ages, and then he doesn't have so much like super traditional strict mindset anymore. And now that he has a grandchild, right? Our relationship is much much better because you know my dad didn't have much time to spend time with me and my sister, yeah, with his daughters, right? So he wants to make sure helping Hiro and see him grow. So he's very, very cooperative right now with my childhood, right? So I really appreciate that. And then the relationship between me and my dad is actually much, much better because of Hiro. You know what I mean? So I think that's one of the reasons. No, that was one of the good side effects that, you know, having a child, right? It kind of ties your family together, having new life, grandchildren. You know what I mean? Yeah. My mom would tell me, "Go ahead, cry. Nobody ever died from it." Okay. Very, like a rough. Valentine's Day in February makes babies born in October and November. Who is October child? Who is November child? Children. My dad was the one who would say who is gonna love that ugly mug. He's projecting though. It's your son, right? It's your son. He's got your genes. So I think any parents who say that they are projecting themselves. You know what I mean? We got engaged at Enoshima Island in January at the Bell. They had the light display there and it was rather amazing. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about. My mother told me my siblings were her only chance of grandchildren when I was a teenager. 네, parents. Yeah. I should be, you know, yeah. I'll keep that in mind and then I am not going to treat Hilo like that. Jesus. Oof. Allergy. Yeah, that blew my that almost blew my brain, so pardon me. Why does anyone like Starbucks? No, I'm not like super Starbucks girl, except for the pumpkin season. You know what I mean? Same here, but my mom would do the physical discipline. My dad would just have to raise him voice, and I would ship bricks. Oh, man, in my age, like recently, it's like unacceptable, and people don't do that anymore. It's seen as really bad. But back in the day, even school teachers, I've seen teachers were doing it too. So yeah, it was that kind of time. Tell her it's cancer. Suddenly, my girls never got a chance to meet my parents. Oh, so cool. Bless you, thank you. It's funny how different kids are. My daughters are so different, total opposites. ああ、確かに。ちょっと待って。I have to blow my nose. Quick, mute, mute. Okay. So siblings とかね、brothers tend to be like total opposite, right? Like my sister, right? I'm like more wild one. I was the wild one. I mean, I got out of the corporate job and then doing like more survival things, you know? you know, this is my life. But my sister is like super like safe, right? She went for like I know certifications. She got an accountant certification. gone into accounting firm, like one of the biggest, like four accountant firms in the in this of the world, right? She went for one of those, and then after leaving that firm, she found a really stable accounting job, and then she's like, cool, right? And then she never dates. She never dates. She never wants partners. She wants to just be herself, by herself, do like oshikatsu shit, Ferngully things recently. Uh, yeah, she's like, she wants to be alone. Just want to mind her business, right? No adventure. She doesn't need adventures. She doesn't need partners to rely on. She's like, she rarely comes to the family gatherings. It's like obligation to her. While I'm like seeing my parents almost weekly basis. まあ、数 of Hiro ね. But yeah, like she's totally opposite, right? Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah. How much for that tissue? Can I sell that on like eBay or like some kind of Mercari とか? How much would you pay? That's my question. I'm the dumbest in my family. そうなの? Like how so? Did anyone else just imagine an elephant sound when Asaki was born? Right? It's so loud. What is oshikatsu? Oshikatsu は fangirling activities. Yeah, fangirling. そうだね. Or simping activities, Because she's into like those anime simping shit, ね、なんだっけ。hypnosis mic かな。hypnosis mic. I'm sure you guys don't know. Maybe you do, but it's for girls, And some like singers, male singers, like different type of good-looking anime singers. Rappers, hypnosis mic. They are rapping and battling. So you, as a girl, fan girl, you like go, 何? Rooting for your favorite rapper, even though they are 2D animation, And then they even have concerts, right? And then she goes to that concerts too. It's insane. To me, insane, So, yeah, totally opposite. I was never into oshikatsu, the fangirling thing. I'm always for, like, real connection, real dates, real boyfriends, real partners, you know what I mean? So, yeah. I'm the black sheep. Bah. Black sheep って何? $16? You pay for my tissue? $16? Okay, I guess I'll I'll open my eBay account and sell my used tissues, How different is marriage visa from work visa? Marriage visa is more strict, I think. Work visa, as long as you have a sponsor, your job, your company, they will take care of you. Like, and then you can at least get like 3 years visa. And if it's a big corporation like Sony and Nintendo, it's gonna be like 5 years visa. Boom, right? So it's easier to get and keep as long as you work there. But spouse visa, right? Because the nature of the concept, there will be always like scammers just to, get the visa, right? So it's more strict, right? And then you can't get 3 years from the beginning unless you are rich or something. You can usually start from 1 year. If not lucky, half year, right? Half year to 1 year visa at the first few attempts. So you have to renew your visa every single year, right? And then procedure is much more complicated. You have to provide many things. Pictures of you together, right? To prove that you have a real connection with this spouse, Japanese spouse. It's not scam or anything. And Justin actually let the lawyer handle that. And then lawyer actually came to our house to show that we live together, right? And yeah, we live together. Like they the lawyer took a picture of us being in the same house, and then even toothbrushes to show that I actually live here, and yeah, and at that point I was pregnant, so she took a copy of my pregnancy documents too. So many things to hand in, paperworks, right, and stuff like that. And then, as I mentioned before, you need to provide everyone's information, right? Not just me, spouse, but spouse family's information. I had to ask for my dad, mom's, and sister's information, their addresses, their phone numbers, even. And you know what? My sister is a very private person, very like not really connected to my family. So she refused it at first. So I had to convince her to provide her information. It's a government document. It's not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to abuse any of this information. It's just for my husband's visa, okay? She was really, really, she really disliked about it, but, I had to do that. So it's much more difficult. But I think if you are thinking about like, permanent visa, I think holding the spouse visa for a long time will be more convincing to apply to spouse visa. So yeah, I don't know. I think if you're not thinking about permanent visa, or if you are rich, there is a rich visa. Yeah, so if you are not thinking about those paths, then keeping your working visa might be the easiest way to stay in Japan for a long time. Like a long period of time. Okay. Japan's rent a girlfriend, boyfriend, sugar daddy, and so on. It's very sad to me. Having to pay to have someone pretend to care about you is very depressing. Okay. まあね。Yeah, I think, yeah, I think it's sad that it's the solution for Japan's loneliness issue, right? And it's not really solution, right? It's a short-term solution, but not the long-term solution, right? And Japan has so many short-term solution for loneliness, like how many prostitution services are here in Japan, not just renting girlfriends, boyfriends. So I think that's one of the reasons we are facing this birth decline, right? But also, I think it's the way of use. I actually would suggest to use rental girlfriends if you are if you are practicing dating women. You know, I think it's a good service to improve your social skill because it's a safe place. You are paying for this service. You are paying for this woman to stay with you for the date. And if you ask, she will give you a feedback, right? So I think it's good for practicing, but yeah, not the solution for loneliness. Yeah. Is marriage a way to citizenship? そうだね. Yes, if you have a spouse visa, technically you don't have to work. Like, technically, because you have a visa, you are allowed to stay in Japan, right? So that's why it's harder to get than work visa, right? Because it's not really beneficial for Japan to have a lazy citizenship to just welcome lazy citizens, right? That's why, And then work visa, people are gonna work. People are there for work. So Japan welcomes more. But yeah, marriage visa, there is a chance that the person doesn't even work there, right? So yeah. Well, that's why you have to provide your tax information, worker information, and all that kind of stuff too. And maybe if you are not working at that time when you apply marriage visa, then they might reject you or give you like 6 months visa and then kind of like, hey, you can leave. You only have 6 months visa. You know, they can do that. So it's not the best way to stay in Japan for sure. I can see how you would think that the fangirling thing is a waste. It seems like a waste of time to me too. まあね。ね. But apparently this is controversial in Japan. If I straight up like fangirling is meaningless, it's a waste of time. If I say that out loud, I will lose so many friends because so many of my friends doing this, right? So I actually can't say it so loud, even though I don't really find productive. I have a rich visa. That's good. That's good. Nah, because you have that kind of like, if you have some kind of status, like working for Google Japan or something like that. If you make 2,000 2 million かな 2 million a year. If you make 2 million yen 違う2 million 何 2 million yen 2 million yen dollar. I think that there's a threshold. If you make that amount of money, they will let you slide, and you can apply permanent visa even within a few years. Depends on your language skill, but yeah. Do you see your sister often? No, once a year. She comes to our New Year gatherings, right? So that's one time I can see her. And if there is some kind of like funeral of our family member, yeah, that kind of like, yeah, if that kind of events happen, we may see her twice a year. Yeah, that kind of situation. How rich does a person have to be asking for a friend? だから2000万円なのよ。2000万円。2000万円 a year. You have to make 2000万円 year. yen USD. 2000万はでも US ドルだとabout 130 $132,000. 103,000 103 $130,000 a year. あ、そうそうそうそう。そうそうそう、それ。Just Google it. I did. $130,000, right? If you make that amount a year, you will be categorized as like rich というか、なんか高度人材だっけ、なんかハイスキルperson みたいな。High skill employee, high skill person. Yeah, I think that's how it's called. And then you can get benefit when it comes to immigration. I'd be even more lonely after renting a girlfriend. そうだよね。It's like a rabbit hole, right? でも、まあ、if you have a purpose, right? If you are there for practicing, then you have a goal. So I think rich would be the best way to stay there. Yeah. I mean, who have trouble having money, you know? That's why I keep playing the lottery. And hope you will win someday. I get lonely after renting a car. Renting a car also. Richie's art. I'm a new subscriber. I was wondering how I could make Japanese friends online because I would like to go to Japan someday. Since you are new, I have many ideas I'm sharing many ideas, especially in my Instagram. これね、これ。Especially on my Instagram. So you can dig my posts on how to meet Japanese locals and ideas. But まあ、assuming まあそっか、You are outside Japan でしょやっぱそうだよね。You have to use online solution or go to the places that has Japanese population. うん。まあね、あと、うん。ハロートークじゃないですか。ハロートーク。Yeah. ハロートーク。You can't just go there and make friends. You have to be like charming to get attention enough to become, make friends with. So you can't just go online and then talk to women and then women じゃないか talk to locals and then locals will respond to you. You can't just expect like that. You have to have a really charming, attractive profiles firstly, you know. But yeah, it's possible online. Nissan Altima, best rental car I ever had. In the US? It sounds like US model. なんか、まあ、なんか日産 it's very popular. なんかスカイラインとか。日産さ、なんか it's super popular among foreigners. It sounds like more like status there. And I'm sure like Japanese fans, there are many Japanese fans too, but なんか if I specifically hear that from Westerners. I will win when I'm 90 and I'm about to drop probably. 確かに or just give it that to your daughters, you know. Hello talk does take time and I would suggest not having any expectations. まあね, it's yeah, but also it's true that many international couples use that kind of tools, Hello Talk とか、あと Instagram か。Instagram とか。And yes, it does take time. And you have to put so much effort, because, you know, you can't see face to face. And they don't know if you are legit, right? So you have to look legit. You have to communicate properly to be trustworthy, at least, right? Japan was really difficult to make genuine connection. Women do not like small talks at random. It really is more structured. So reading Asagi's book might help before going. Yeah, I think so. Even online. Yeah, small talk isn't a thing in Japan in general. Maybe in like countryside area, people do small talk, especially old generation, right? But when it comes to like romance and Tokyo area, city in general, people don't really do small talk. It usually does not work unless you are super good looking, super goofy, like, that kind of guy. You would struggle. So, yeah. And, approaching Japanese women online, I would definitely recommend reading my ebook. It's in the description. So, yeah. It's definitely yeah, it's still like women are women. But there are small nuances, cultural differences, and if you don't know, that makes you feel awkward. You know what I mean? I know everything about the skyline. そうか、日産ファンだね。I have made some good friends on Hello Talk, but it really takes time. そうね。Even for Lloyd, right? They are learning Japanese in school. Hopefully they use it. ああ、そっかそっか。That's cool. I only drive Toyota now. I still have PTSD from my Jeep that gave up on me. You had like car accident or something? Oh. Host clubs are for talking. So, yes, host clubs, at the host club, it's, definitely for talking. And you are not supposed to be like intimate, right? But those hosts, the guides, hosts there, to get more customers or to get more customers hooked on their services, they actually hook up with them, with the customers outside the host club, because it's easy. Like, women tend to have like feelings once they sleep with the man, right? It's easy to get addicted, and then, pretending like they care about those women and have sex with them, and then actually make them come back to the host club and take even more money out of them, right? It's like grooming, you know what I mean? So it's bad. So their service is not about giving sexual satisfaction, but they do hook up with their customers. Like, it's very common for them. Sean, trucking with BS. Welcome back. Help me understand, because I have run into this issue three times. Why Japanese have the title idol not allowed to date? I didn't know they were idols. What happened? Like, if I imagine your situation, I guess you randomly talked to women, I don't know, in real life, online. You didn't know they are idols. But once you start to flirt with them, they are like, "Oh, I'm an idol. I'm not supposed to date anybody." It's happening to you? I'm confused. Just a Jeep electronics failed and the car never turned on anymore. Oh no. Really? Can't you get a refund or anything from that? Many hostesses spend all their money on hosts. そうだね。だって結局、そうそうそう。It's a very miserable cycle here, right? So those hostesses are doing hostesses or even like sex industry, right? Like working for prostitution and stuff like that, or doing like runaway girls, street hookers. Those people are doing that, and many of those women are doing that to pay for hosts. So then, and actually those really like bad ones, bad hosts, encourage those women customers to go into sex industry because that's the easy money they can get, right? So it's really miserable. It's actually the weird like map of dating, right? So these hostesses, these women are sucking money out of men who have to pay for them to talk with women, right? They get money from like these guys to pay for these guys, right? It's so weird if you think about it. Netflix has a show, Saitama no Host, which seems to be a comedy based on male hosts. Haven't seen it. I tried to date more Kikuchi, but sadly she's too busy with Baby Metal, for sure, yeah. Yeah, okay. Still. Anyways, I have to go. Thanks for sticking with the chat today. And I'm glad this live was stable. Yeah, no choppy, no cutout. So yeah. And well, next week, yeah, same time, Sunday noon, kana. Probably following weekend I have to do it on Saturday, but I will let you know by then. All right. Yeah, so have a good day or night wherever you are, and then I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. じゃあね。